Warriors Unite! Back with another episode of Bigger Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys enjoying the weekend. It's feeling like fall again. I think it's like 75, 80 degrees around here, and I love it. It's a great weather. It's starting to get like Viking weather, which I love. You know, I love that kind of stuff. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are conquesting yourselves. Hope you guys are continuing to follow God's purposes, thereby conquesting everything around you, because you're the one that has the power. You may not realize it, but you have a lot more power than you think you do. You have the power to be able to kind of draw things into you. You have power to be able to kind of conquest yourselves first. But you got to overcome yourself first. It's your own ability to control yourself that makes a difference, and certainly in the element of semen retention. Let's do an interesting topic today from Jaserasario. Others will be turned off with your positive energy. Yes, not everybody will be your friend. That'll be our topic name in a second here. Let's do a couple of shout outs here. Where am I at? Let me look at my list here. Giodude, thank you, my friend. Anansizabalaza, thank you, my friend. Ben, thank you as usual. Legokingiscool, welcome back, Warrior. Thank you, my friend. Hendrix Jr, thank you. Someone else will pick up the energy. I think I said that. Actually, I do mean that in a strange way. I mean, when you get upset with somebody, you let them have it, and they let you have it. It's almost you're exchanging energy. So when you're listening a lot, you're always getting energy from other people. The Burger King, thank you, my friend. Johnnie, thank you. Legokingiscool, day 2, second one, thank you, my friend. Oliverhuerta, thank you. Ricky, don't tell anyone your age when you're on NSR. That's probably a good idea. Like I said, the only reason I even mentioned that, that I'm 64 is because we do the podcast and just kind of illustrate how it's been great in my life, and I want to share with you guys, so it's good. Edward, thank you, my friend. Mr. Gats, 1, thank you. Fearlesshindu, thank you. Ben from Australia, thank you, my friend. Arafet, thank you. How to use SR to increase our craft. I will talk about that in a separate one, but that's a great topic, and I appreciate you giving to me, Arafet. Thank you. All right, so at the 2-minute and 24-second mark, our friend Jaserasario, and I hope I said that right, talking about the fact that we think everything is rosy and shiny when it comes to SR and semen retention. And of course, we know that's not the case. We know this whole journey that we have is not always going to be sunshine and roses. Everything is going to be great. Obviously, I think God puts us in situations to make us grow. And so we have to continue to battle, to challenge, and to risk, and to strive to things that are better. I've learned a lot more in times that things have not gone well than times that have gone well. And over the years, having experiences like I have, I've seen that some situations that seem hopeless, God has great faith. You have great faith in God, and it works itself out. Other situations, that seemed like things were pretty easy, all of a sudden took a turn, and those things happen. So, once again, let's take a step back here before we talk about a lot of this stuff. The major reason we're doing all this is obviously to get closer to God. A lot of observations, a lot of testimonies have talked about the fact that the longer you do retention and to get closer to God without relapsing, edging, anything like that, what happens is you end up getting closer to God, and you're praying more, and you get closer to your Creator. That is a great thing. To me, that's really the whole purpose behind a lot of this. Satan will take you. If you don't do that, Satan will take you instead, and you will go to that side, the dark side. I guess you want to go back to Star Wars type of analogy. You will go to the other end, because God will look at you, and if you don't believe in God, you'll be moving to the other end, and so now you'll be doing all the kind of crazy things, and Satan will pull you away from God. That's what pornography, alcohol, these little things do. So you have to kind of understand that principle a little bit, that if you are not moving towards God, you're kind of moving away from God, even if you're stagnant, because other people are in these positions. So when you retain and you're getting all the benefits and getting closer to God and doing all those things that we are doing to become a high-value male, you're going to get those people who love it, Women will be attracted to you because they want to see a real man. Nowadays, we're seeing a change in our philosophy a little bit. We're seeing commercials with a woman who's wearing jeans, and all of a sudden we're getting to the girls who are looking good. They're becoming more in style again, which I think is always fascinating. But you're getting a lot of people upset with that because they're not really in that. They're kind of jealous of all that kind of stuff, and it's not in vogue, or it's not how they look. And so all of a sudden now you're going back to some of the old traditions that we've had, where women who look good, will get attention and that kind of thing. And it goes back to the male, energy that we have, that we really kind of like having. We like having that kind of energy if we use it appropriately, and we don't kind of dispersive with unintentional reasons, things like that. So the thing is that the world's starting, I think, to change. You're seeing a shift back to more of a traditional type of attitude, which I love. Myself being as old as I am, I like going back to some of those old type of traditions, and that's good. But back to what we're talking about. The thing is that when you look at this, those type of people, they'll be on your side. You'll attract a lot more newer people, people who like you, people who like your energy, things like that. But you're not gonna attract everybody, and there's gonna be times where people, and we'll take both men and women here for a second, will not be happy that you have this energy. Why? Well, we'll just use that example of the woman in the jeans doing, I think it was American Eagle. I think it's American Eagle. Commercial. And there's people who love it, and there's people who don't like it. And I think when you look at this, you kind of have to say, why is that happening? Well, those mindset of those people are different in the way they look at things. And so you're going to have the same thing when it comes to how people treat you with retention, because you're doing something unusual. You're part of the 1% group. And so when you step out and be that part of the 1%, even like I'm doing with the videos here, you're going to get criticized. You're going to get people jumping on your back. You're going to have people who are not going to be too happy what you're doing. But fortunately, SR gives you all those type of tools to handle all that. And that's going to be key. So let's take women, for example, first. You're going to have a lot of women who love your energy, attracted to you. They're going to flirt with you. They're going to do a lot of things with you because they sense that energy with you. You're also going to get some people, as we talk about this commercial I'm talking about, you're going to see that they're going to react very negatively, because either they have too much masculine energy, which is happening more and more now, or you're seeing them getting jealous or upset. They sense something in you that goes against their basic nature. They're expecting men to be simps. They're expecting men to not have that positive energy. They're expecting man to be more feminine. And you're starting to see that. The strange thing, I saw an article the other day talking about how women want men now to do more of those masculine things. It's amazing to me. We've had 10, 20 years of people having this toxic masculinity, and now you're seeing people wanting to come back because they need strength, they need providing, they need protection. And of course, that's the case. We know that. We've known it all along. So a lot of this brainwashing, a lot of these things that have been happening, these things have really kind of messed up society. But, obviously there's a reason people did those things and those things happening. And so you have to kind of go back and think about the enlightenment that you guys have had, certainly with semen retention, and realize that all that was a mirage, it was an illusion. And the whole thing, you have to realize that men are men, no matter what. And we got to stay being men. You can't lose that energy. And it starts with the energy that you're keeping at this point. So the energy you have is very important. And then so that's why you want to keep the masculine energy and not lose it. It's like gold. You don't want to lose that at any point in time. So back to women again, you're going to find that women are going to not always appreciate this. You're gonna get into some battles, and this is where your ability with retention to be calm and cool under pressure, the stoic ability to be able to just kind of just let it run off your back and just keep going. But you're going to get some women who are going to be angry, and you won't even know why. Sometimes you get women who just don't like what you're doing because they feel it. They feel the energy, and it's something that's going against what they're used to. They're not used to a man who has masculine energy. In this society, they're used to men who have feminine energy. And even though they deal with it, they don't necessarily like it. But the fact is that they've dealt with it, and so because of that, many females have gone to masculine energy. It's kind of been flip-flopped. And this is a danger to society because women are just not as strong physically as men. And they're not going to go out and protect, nations and countries like men. I mean, there's nothing wrong with women being in the services. I mean, I think it's a great idea in some regards. But the thing is that, they're just not as strong. And so you need to have men. You need to really men. You need to have really men out there doing those type of things. I mean, that's really an important type of concept that we need to have and needs to come back. So women will not always be attracted to you. They may, because of the way they have and had to look at things, and whether they have relationships that are different than normal relationships. They're not going to have positive attitude towards you. And so that's something you have to kind of deal with. But again, when you have a lot of retention, and you're retaining, you have a lot of energy within yourself, you're not going to get to the point where it's going to bother you that much. You're going to just take it for what it is and move on and look at life in a way where you can go ahead and say, okay, this is your viewpoint. I'm not sharing it. I'm moving on. Remember, guys, you don't have time to waste on a lot of this stuff. You don't have time when people don't are angry. You got things to do. Continue moving into your goals. Work on yourself. Work on your goals. Continue doing that. And this won't be a problem. But it's something you should be aware of. And I think this is what the comment was, is that people will be turned off. And women will be turned off. They're not always going to like you because of your energy, They may have liked you before when you had more of a, if you had a simpest attitude or energy, more feminine energy. And it's, like I said, it's really funny because for many years there was this idea that men should be more emotive, they should be more emotional, sensitive, things like that. And now it's completely gone way off the charts the other way. And now women are aching for these men to come back, and you can't train men that way, and especially young men who've been used to being that caregiver type person. So it's really a difficult type of a situation we have, and we just got to have the younger generation stepping up, and continuing along with some of the older guys like myself to try to keep pushing the idea that we need to have control of ourselves. And once you control yourselves, you control a lot of things around you better. And of course, now we talk about the male side of things. You're going to have some males who respect you. They're going to have males who really admire you. They're going to give you credit. They want to work with you. And that's going to happen a lot. But you're also going to get a lot of people who, once again, who want to fight you, who just sense the energy in you, and they sense that you're not you're a peaceful person. You're at ease with yourself. And if you're at ease with yourself and you enjoy yourself, that may make them upset. Again, guys, we're living in a society where men and women, they are taught that things should be a certain way. And when you act differently, like you're acting, or your aura comes out, or you're acting in a different way, you're going to get a different reaction. And those people are not necessarily going to be happy that you're acting that way. So this is where we talk about the fact that you have to really be able to discern the good and evil that people have. And I'm not saying the people are bad, evil, and good. I think Satan is using people in certain ways, and it becomes a challenge for you, for me, and you and I to be able to say, okay, we're not going to fall into that category. We're not going to fall into that pattern to say, we're going to go ahead and follow the temptation and get involved with things that we shouldn't be getting involved with, like drugs and alcohol, pornography, and all this other kind of stuff that is out there. We're going to try to stop that. We're going to try to lower the amount of time that we spend with that stuff, and spend more time on things that are positive, spend more time on things that we want to focus on. So this, to me, is the key to the situation, to try to look at this and say, okay, what is it do we need to do to kind of follow God's purposes and conquest ourselves and conquest the thing around us. So no matter what people put in front of you, no matter how they act towards you, you have a choice to respond. And this is the key to the whole thing. You have the choice to respond to what is happening. That's a key type of thing. And once you do that, then all of a sudden you're going to be able to kind of say, okay, I have more of a control of myself. And you should not be doing other things that are going to break out of that control. So like, for example, somebody, you're doing something and someone wants you to go and do something. A girl wants you to do something. You should not be running and changing your schedule for her. You should be dictating things yourself. This is a key to me that I had to change over the years as well. You have your own life, and others will respect that. Now, they may not totally agree with you. They may actually try to want to control you. They may want to test you. Women and men will do this while you're on retention. They may want to test to see if that person really is that strong, secure male that's there. And once again, women are wonderful human beings. There is no doubt about that. A lot of great things about women. I will never say anything bad about women. I think women are wonderful, but they behave on a biological timeline, a biological nature. The reason they behave a certain way is because of biology. They're trying to find out if they are safe with a man around, whoever that man is. And that hasn't changed in all these years, and it will never change. Now, they will find different ways to test you, but they're going to test to see if you're that kind of person. And if you're that kind of person, then they're going to go ahead and be okay with that, but they're going to continue testing. And a lot of men fail these tests because they don't have that masculinity. And they can't stand up and say, no, I don't want this. I don't want to do this. I have other things I'm doing right now. Or they're so thirsty that they have to come back and give a text right away back to the woman. And they're not really living their own life. They're living for that woman. And once you're able to change that, and once you have the mentality of changing and saying, I'm going to start to work on myself, work towards God, I'm going to conquest myself, you'll get a lot more admiration. But you won't get everybody liking you, right? You're going to get people who are not going to like you. You're going to get people who are upset with you. You're going to get people who don't like you, and they're going to react in that way to you. And you have to kind of be aware that that kind of thing happens, and that's going to be out there. The question then is, when you see that, don't be surprised, but react to it, even with women doing it. You're not going to, I have had a lot of success, but I've also had women who don't like, my energy, don't like it. And you just have to kind of continue moving on. But in my case, obviously, it's all been a flattering thing for me because it never used to happen to me a lot back in younger years. And so any type of compliment or things I get, I appreciate that a great deal. So in my case, it's a little bit different than most. But I think certainly you have to kind of take the good, the bad, all the same thing is the same. And I think that was what one of the poets said one time. He said, if you can look at life, the same way, and the coin is like a flip of a coin, is one side or the other. If you can look at life the same way, whether it's up or down, then you'll be much better off and much more and calmer and relaxed in what you're doing. So, again, thank you. I wanted to give a thanks out to Jaserasario again for that great topic. And once again, you're not going to get everybody to like you. You're not going to get everybody to understand your energy. They don't even know why they're reacting to you like you do, but they just get turned off, and that's okay. But you're living your life, you're living your purpose, you're living out the things you should be doing and looking at, and that's the key thing. And once you're living out that purpose, now you're seeing that life is a whole different thing. And conquesting yourself comes first, and then as you do that, you can conquest things around you, and it allows you to become better off on all the things you're doing. So, all right, friends, I always leave you with two things. I want you guys to have a great weekend. I want you to be able to enjoy the great weather out there and all the great things that God has given us with the trees and the grass and all kinds of things and the wonderful animals running around, and enjoy things out there. And always remember that you're always going to continue to do the best you can to be the best person you can become, and that's important. So never stop with that. And once again, we always talk about two great things I always say to you guys. One, every day is a new day to a great warrior, and you guys are great warriors. And number two, guys, we have to continue to fight the devil, because the devil is going to jump into people. They're going to make people do things. Those people are not bad people. No one's really a bad person in my book. Yeah, there might be people who really go to an extreme with evil things. But again, they're human beings, and God created all human beings. So I think, to me, they're all good people, but they may be inhabited with, evil spirits at the time you're dealing with them. And so you have to kind of deal with it. And because of that, you got to put your helmet on, you got to put your chest breastplate on, your sword, and you got to continue to battle on! God bless you guys. Have a great night.